Good morning, Essentials class. This is week 7 of your IEW portion of Essentials, and we are on lesson 10. So we're going to jump right in here with our new style, which is quality adjective. And an adjective describes a noun, right? A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. And an adjective is going to tell us what color, size, shape, emotion, or kind. It also answers the question of how many. So over here we have the two examples of what an adjective will typically describe. So an object or a person. So we have the colorful pen, right? Colorful would be the adjective. The angry person, and angry would be the adjective. Angry would be answering it would be an emotion. We're answering the question, what kind of emotion? Colorful could be answering the color or the kind, right? All right. I have some examples. I know there's a little bit of a glare. There we go. I have some examples of our quality adjectives listed in our blue, green, purple, and brown. So let's look up here real quick at our banned words. Remember, we have words that we're not going to use anymore, and we're going to replace them with more rich vocabulary. So we are no longer going to use good or bad, big or little. And we have a couple lists here. So instead of good, we have godly, benevolent, agreeable, exemplary, or golden, right? So those can describe people or items, right? Next we did good, now we have bad. So instead of bad, we have wicked, roguish, sinful, conniving, lousy, or unfit. Good replacements for these words. Big, colossal, gargantuan, expansive, or robust. And last for little, there we go, little, I have minuscule, puny, scanty, meager, or wee, just a little wee boy. Right? So these are just a very few examples of the quality adjectives that we could use to replace words such as good, bad, big, and little. This is what we're going to be adding to our stylistic technique list, and we will make a list of that in just a little bit to remind us all of the styles we should be adding into the papers that you're writing. All right, down here in pink, I have a couple examples. So if we had, he was a good ruler, remember we are no longer using good, it is a banned word. So he was a renowned ruler. And if I'm not mistaken, renowned was a vocab word just a couple weeks back. So doesn't that sound just much more intriguing as we're reading? He was a renowned ruler. Next is, it was a bad time in Europe. No longer using bad, so how about dismal? It was a dismal time in Europe. All right, down here I have big. We are no longer, we went blurry again. There we go. We are no longer going to use the word big. So the Vikings sailed not in big boats, but they sailed in massive boats. Massive would be our quality adjective. All right, that is our stylistic technique for week 7. Next, we are going to read our source text. Please excuse my mess, you guys. All right, so if you want to turn with me, see, there's the kitty. All right, if you guys want to turn with me to page 90, we are going to read about the Vikings. All right, Vikings. Should I get my pen? No, you guys can read with me. All right. The Norsemen lived in Scandinavia, where the land was very cold and harsh. Norse warriors, also known as Vikings, were feared by much of Europe. They were fierce. They attacked and looted other European countries from 700 to 1100. They killed women and children as well as men. Monasteries were especially targeted because they were usually stocked with provisions and valuables. The most savage of the Viking warriors were called berserkers. They were like raging madmen. The term berserk, which now is used to describe someone who is acting wildly, originated from this name for Viking warriors. The Vikings were so feared that churches in Europe had a special prayer for protection. God, deliver us from the fury of the Norsemen. Sometimes the warriors wanted to take over land. To do this, they sent several hundred huge warships. The sight of such a massive fleet heading for shore must have been terrifying. From these attacks, the Vikings were able to gain and settle parts of England and France. For example, when Vikings came to France in 911, King Charles the Simple did not even fight. He gave them a piece of land in northern France. This land was then called Northmen's Land or Normandy. Everywhere they went, Viking warriors struck fear in people. All right, so let's remember that for Unit 4, we are doing the summarizing a reference. And we don't want to get scared with the word summarizing, because all it means is we are let's go back up to our board. See, we got our last look at our banned words and our new style technique, because I'm going to erase to make room